This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not a substitute for personal legal advice. Hello, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to explore a super important topic, the shrinking population in Europe. 7 countries are seeing their people disappear at a really fast rate. And it's not science fiction, it's real life. Why are young people leaving their homes, leaving behind villages with no kids playing, and cities with only older folks? Let's find out the money, social, and political reasons behind this quiet exodus. Let's start with the country that's leading this race that nobody wants to win. First up is Bulgaria, a country famous for its roses, traditional yogurt, and beautiful views from mountains to plains. But besides all that, Bulgaria is also known for a sad truth. It has the fastest shrinking population in Europe right now. Experts say that by 2050, Bulgaria's population could drop by almost 23%. This means the country could lose nearly a quarter of its people in just a few decades, a shocking number that brings many problems for the future. The main reason is that many young people, especially those with good education and skills, are leaving. They're moving to Western European countries like Germany, the UK, and the Netherlands to find better pay and better living conditions. Many young people say they don't just want higher pay. They also want to work in modern places, have chances to grow, and live in a more open society. Farewell parties and social media posts all show that the new generation wants to leave. In Bulgaria, the average salary is only a small part of what people earn in Western Europe. Many young people feel their future at home is too shaky, while in Germany or the UK, better job chances and a higher standard of living are waiting for them. When young people leave, they don't just take their work skills, they also take the future generation. The birth rate, which was already low, is now dropping even more. Neighborhoods and schools have fewer and fewer children. Population experts warn that if this keeps happening, many areas in Bulgaria will face irreversible aging, where there are many more old people than children. Bulgarian society is getting old fast. The healthcare and social care systems have to work hard to take care of more and more elderly people, while there are fewer young workers. Because of this, the Bulgarian government has started many programs to give money and encourage people who left to come back. They even promote their country's image on international media. But the results are still very small, because the biggest problem isn't just money. Hundreds of villages in Bulgaria are almost empty, schools are closed, houses are falling apart, and more ghost villages are appearing. They have become a sign of the serious population drop. The problem isn't just about money, it's also about believing in the country's future. Many young people feel their voices aren't heard, and they don't feel motivated to come back and build up their homeland. Bulgaria is just leading a common trend in Eastern and Central Europe. Countries like Romania, Hungary, and Poland are also facing the same situation, as many people leaving and low birth rates threaten their future populations. Bulgaria's story is a warning for many other countries. If there isn't a full solution, the problem of smart people leaving and the population getting older will keep spreading across Europe. Next, let's go to the Baltic region, where a small country is also facing a big wave of people leaving, and equally serious problems are waiting ahead. Latvia, a small country on the Baltic Sea, famous for its vast pine forests, long beaches, and wild nature. This country is not only attractive for its scenery, but also for its long history, unique culture, and friendly, welcoming people. The ancient capital of Riga, with its red roofs, Gothic churches, and bustling squares, is the heart of Latvia, a place that holds memories of old Europe and also the economic, educational, and cultural center of the entire country. However, since gaining independence in 1991, Latvia has faced a big challenge. Its population has shrunk by more than 25%. This is one of the fastest population drops in Europe, making many villages and towns empty and forcing schools and hospitals to close. After joining the European Union in 2004, the wave of people leaving grew even more. Hundreds of thousands of Latvians, especially young, well-educated people, left their homeland to find new opportunities in England, Germany, Ireland, and other Nordic countries. They left hoping for a more stable life, better pay, better social benefits, and a more professional work environment, things that Latvia, despite trying hard, still couldn't fully provide. The result is that many jobs are severely short of workers. Factories and construction sites lack staff, production slows down, and many projects are delayed or have to stop. In healthcare, hospitals are short of nurses and doctors, which makes the quality of care go down. One nurse might have to take care of 2 or 3 times the number of patients they should. Small and medium-sized businesses also have trouble finding enough talented people, which hurts the growth and competition of the country's economy. Not only that, but the low birth rate for many years has made the problem even worse. Many schools and kindergartens have had to close because there aren't enough students, and children's playgrounds are quiet. The main reason is the rising cost of living, while the average salary is low. Many young couples have to think very carefully before deciding to have children, even putting it off or not having any because they worry about money and an uncertain future. Seeing this danger, the Latvian government has increased social benefits and started programs to encourage people to stay or to ask Latvians living abroad to come back. However, the results are still limited because the difference in income and opportunities is still too big. The shrinking population is not just an economic problem, but it also threatens Latvia's cultural identity. Traditional festivals and community activities are seeing fewer and fewer people, and many cultural values are at risk of fading away over time. Free movement in the EU is a double-edged sword. It opens up great opportunities for individuals to grow, but it's a critical challenge for small countries like Latvia, as human resources keep flowing out to other countries. Latvia's story is not unique. Next, we'll go to Croatia, a famous tourist paradise, but also a place where many young people are eager to leave to find a better future in the West. Croatia, with its beautiful beaches, old cities, amazing city walls, and clear blue Adriatic water. For many, this is like a Mediterranean paradise, where history and nature mix to make it super charming. But behind all that beauty, another story is happening, a story about young people leaving. Even though they grew up in such a beautiful place, many young Croatians are still choosing to leave their home country. They hope for a brighter future in faraway lands, leaving behind their families, friends, and childhood memories. After joining the European Union in 2013, even more people started leaving. Hundreds of thousands of Croatians, especially those with good skills like doctors, engineers, and nurses, chose to go to Germany, Austria, Ireland, and other countries to work. They are looking for better pay, better living conditions, and chances to grow in their careers that their home country can't offer yet. The reasons aren't just about low pay. Many young people feel stuck in a slow, complicated system where corruption still happens and it's hard to move up. They've lost faith that society can change, and leaving feels like the only way out. The economy relies a lot on tourism that only happens part of the year, which makes jobs unsure. Many people can only work for a few months a year, and then they have long months without steady money. This makes it really hard to plan for the future, buy a house, or raise kids. There are fewer babies being born, it costs a lot to raise kids, and memories of war still affect many people. All this creates a lot of stress. Many young families worry about their children's future, about feeling safe and stable in the long run. Because of this, the Croatian government has offered bonuses and plans to encourage people who left to come back. But many people think these are just quick fixes that don't solve the real problems, not enough chances, a work environment that isn't very appealing, and not much hope for real change. The difference is getting clearer. On one side, there's the fancy tourism, with beaches full of international visitors. On the other side, there are quiet villages, empty houses, and schools with fewer students. Behind the growing tourism industry are the tough money and social problems that local people deal with every day. While groups of tourists come to enjoy Croatia's beauty, the local people are quietly leaving, taking their dreams of a better life somewhere else. This movement creates a sad puzzle for the country. Croatia, a paradise in the middle of Europe, is now an example of a modern problem. Even with beautiful scenery, if there are no opportunities and no hope, that paradise can become empty of people, leaving quiet villages under a sad sunset. Lithuania, a perfect example of the downside of free movement within the EU. Its population has dropped by nearly 1 million people since 1990, mostly because people moved to places like the UK, Ireland, and Norway. The 2008 financial crisis made even more people leave, especially young folks. What happened? The population got older, villages were left with just old people, and schools and services closed down. But lately there's been some good news. The number of people moving in, including Lithuanians coming back home, has started to go up. The economy is growing. Vilnius is becoming a hub for new businesses, salaries are getting better, and the gap between their pay and Western Europe's is getting smaller. The government has even started programs to get people who left to come back. Lithuania shows that a shrinking population can turn around if there's steady economic growth and people feel good about the future. Romania. It's the most populated country in Eastern Europe, but it's losing people super fast. We think about 3 to 5 million Romanians live and work in other countries. That's almost a quarter of everyone in Romania. This big move started happening a lot after Romania joined the EU. Most people went to Italy and Spain. What happened because of this? Hundreds of thousands of kids grew up without their parents around. This caused some really big social and emotional problems. Things like corruption and bad public services, especially in healthcare, made even more people want to leave. Not many babies are being born, and the economy isn't stable. This makes many couples think twice about having kids. Losing so many people means there are fewer workers, and many villages in the countryside are becoming empty. But people in Romania are still very active. They're protesting against corruption and really want things to change. The big question is, will things change fast enough to keep Romanians in their country and make others want to come back? Serbia, not yet a member of the EU, but still seeing a big wave of people leaving. A slow economy, the scars of war, and political problems make young people lose hope. Low pay and high unemployment mean many skilled people have to work jobs they're overqualified for or no job at all. There's a serious brain drain. Thousands of doctors, engineers, and tech experts leave every year. A divided political scene, controlled media, and an uncertain future push even more people to leave. With a low birth rate and an aging population, it's predicted that Serbia's population could drop below 5 million by the end of the century. The government offers money to families with many children, but it's not enough to turn things around. Hungary, a country that puts population issues front and center, but its population is still shrinking. The birth rate has been low for a long time, and young people put off getting married and having kids because they worry about money. Hundreds of thousands of Hungarians have left since joining the EU, mostly going to Germany, Austria, and the UK. The Orban government doesn't encourage immigration. Instead, they've rolled out generous family support policies, like special loans, tax breaks, and housing help. But these policies mainly help middle-class families and don't do much for the poor. They also haven't fixed the problem of people leaving the country. The political situation, which is becoming more controlling, is also a reason why skilled people are leaving. Can a country really stop its population from shrinking just by encouraging more births, while also saying no to immigration? The answer is still up in the air. 7 countries, 7 stories, but all with one thing in common: the economic difference between East and West. Low wages, not many job chances, a low birth rate, and a wave of people moving away. Corruption, bad leadership, and disappointment with politics are making young people leave even more. These countries are at a crossroads. Will they keep seeing their populations get older and their villages become empty? Or will they find new ways to change this trend? Will growing the economy, better leadership, and policies that help families be enough to make people stay? Or will letting people from other countries come in become the only choice to survive? What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.